definitely got to talk about this. And they said Troy Aikman was pretty much lobbing grenades last night about quarterback development. Now, if you know me, this is something that I've been talking about for the last few years about quarterback development. So we're going to listen to Troy Aikman, and then we're going to break this down. So let's just jump on into it. Let's see. Make it happen here.
And we talked about it last week with Kyle Shanahan, what he's done with the 49ers offense. There's others around the league, and Sean McVay is another one of those great offensive minds. And for Matthew Stafford to get the opportunity to play within that scheme, good for him. Yeah. And, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league and over the history of this league that never got that opportunity to play for someone like Sean or some of the others that are so talented.
There's a smile on your face when you're saying that. I see, you know what I mean? That seems like hype.
I say it from experience because North Turner came in my third year in the league, totally turned our offense around, turned my career around. Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith would tell you the same thing. So I think there's been, and this has always been debated, I guess. I think there's been a lot of quarterbacks that have been drafted high who have left the game and have been labeled a bust. And I think it's unfair because I do feel that organizations and coaching has failed quarterbacks more than quarterbacks have failed organizations because I've been there. I've been around the best of the best, and I've been around others that aren't as good.
Wow. Wow. Troy Aikman said a lot in that minute and 10 seconds. Hopefully, I don't catch a copyright claim for that, but that's okay. I'll delete it out when it's time. But Troy Aikman said a mouthful. Quarterback development is garbage in the NFL, and it starts all the way down to high school and all the way up to the NFL. They create these 7-on-7 academies where guy can't be touched. He's just basically, I call it free throwing. You know what I mean? It's nothing to it. No pressure on the guys. They shoot out the shotgun pretty much. Just throw it to the open guy. They have a guy maybe defending them, but there's no pressure bearing down on the quarterback. So the development has been the development didn't start there, right? So now you go into taking these guys out of high school and you put them in college, right? And they're not developing at the college level. So this quarterback has all this talent, but he's an athlete. They want to scheme their offense around the athleticism versus teaching the quarterback position. So, perfect example, Anthony Richardson. We can take Anthony Richardson for example. Anthony Richardson at Florida, completion percentage was only 50%. He literally was make one, miss one. He was like the Shaquille O'Neal of the quarterbacks at the free throw line. Make a throw, miss a throw. What they say about Anthony Richardson when he came out? Oh, man, he's a hell of an athlete. He can throw a ball 80 yards down the field. He can backflip. Everything but throw the ball on time and process the field. But the coach said, man, he's a freak athlete. He's 6'5", he's 250. He reminds you of Cam Newton and all these other things. And these earbuds are still. We go get them right. He's the next Cam Newton. And I remember saying it then. Where? Cam Newton threw the ball well at Auburn. He was a nightmare for everybody. You talk about the same Cam Newton that took Auburn that was not doing anything to winning the national title. He was a one-man wrecking crew. And you comparing that to Anthony Richardson, a Florida team that struggled that year. he only threw for 50% pass completions, and a lot of his touchdowns was run touchdowns. So when the Colts drafted him, I said in my head, surely this is a project. They're going to sit him for a few years, let him learn behind who was the quarterback? Gardner Minshew. Let Gardner Minshew take all the slings and arrows right now because Anthony Richardson is not ready. You're not really going anywhere, and I think Gardner Minshew had played well because Anthony Richardson ended up getting hurt when they started him, if I'm not mistaken. And they played well when he went out, but they want to start him right away. Well, you're not going to tell me that you didn't watch the tape and see what he was in Florida, where it's a totally different game than being in the NFL, and said that this guy is ready to start. He wasn't ready to start. He never was. He needed so much refinement to his game. His accuracy has been god awful. He can't hit the side of a barn. Can't throw a ball into the ocean. It is what it is. He is not good right now. But if he sits for a minute, and you give him time to learn and actually develop, because the development has been stymied over the last few years, then you get a franchise quarterback. Why are you right? You get a franchise quarterback that's not ready. You've invested a number one pick in him. You feel like he got some good tools, but yet you don't let him develop. So you rush him in there, you make him look like a fool. You got the fan base turning against him. You got the fan base turning against you as an organization. And then you got to go call 45-year-old Phillip Rivers out of retirement to come play the quarterback position to try to position you to get into the playoffs. That's stupid. Where you could have literally still had the same situation. You could have had Gardner Minshew. Half of that time, Daniel Jones came free the way he came free. You could have still brought Daniel Jones in and let Anthony Richardson sit. He's a guy that needs to sit about 3 years. Enough of these organizations thinking that these quarterbacks are about to come in as rookies. Troy Aikman said it. My career would not be my career if Norv Turner was not my offensive coordinator. People don't remember this, but Norv Turner was the equivalent of Andy Reid back in the early 90s. His offense was so innovative. And he put all those guys in the best places, put them in their best positions to win. And they won 3 Super Bowls out of that. They won 3 Super Bowls out of that because they knew how to develop Troy Aikman and get the best out of Emmitt Smith and get the best out of Michael Irvin and what's my boy's name? Alvin, the other wide receiver. Mine's slipping me right now. But they had talent, but it's the difference between having talent and being able to execute with that talent. Anthony Richardson has a lot of talent, but if they haven't developed them, it doesn't matter. You could go to Pittsburgh when they had Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett may not have been the ideal guy, but they damn sure didn't do him no favors trying to develop him. What was Tecmo Bowl Matt Canada developing? Nothing. He can't even get a high school job. So imagine if Matt Canada can't get a high school job trying to develop an NFL quarterback. And you wondering why all these quarterbacks failing. You wonder why you're seeing the Sam Darnolds, you're seeing the Baker Mayfields, you're seeing the Geno Smiths, you're seeing the Daniel Jones, all become 2.0 versions of themselves because they were not developed at the high school and the college levels correctly, they're running these gimmicky offenses that can get them wins, that can make their coaches look good, make the colleges look good, et cetera, et cetera. But they're not even thinking about the quarterback. All they're going to say is, hey, see, my university, we had a first-round quarterback. We had a first-round pick as a quarterback. See, Daniel Jones came out of Duke. He was a first-round quarterback. Daniel Jones' career was on its deathbed until he was able to go where? To Minnesota, to a quarterback whisperer and Kevin O'Connell, sit for a year, learn the game, help learn his game, some nuances, whatever, he put into his bag. He learned, came to Indianapolis, and for the first half of the year, he was an MVP candidate. I wonder why. And we talk about Daniel Jones had been in the league for almost 5 years. Sam Darnold, they said he was a bust. He was done. He came out saying he was seeing ghosts. He was all these things going on with Sam. Sam makes a ride. He go to Carolina. He's all over the place. Then he goes to Minnesota. Revives his career in Minnesota. Gets paid. I was even skeptical of Sam Darnold leaving Minnesota to go to Seattle. Because I said, Minnesota still had the training wheels on him. He had all the weapons there. Now he's going into no man's land where he don't have a quarterback whisperer with him. Yes, he got JSN, who is amazing, but he coming into a new offense and he was just starting to get his legs on him. Sam Darnold about to go win another division, and he's looked good this year. Had a defining moment game against the Rams, coming of age. Baker down there in Tampa Bay writing his own story. Does it look good right now? No, but Baker's hurt. Baker trying to play, but that's another story. Mac Jones in San Francisco. Who? Mac Jones in San Fran. Came in for Brock Purdy. Not only kept the ship steady, but he won some key games. Now, guess what? Mac Jones in free agency, he's going to get a nice payday to be somebody's starter. But they said he didn't have it in Jacksonville. See what I'm saying? It's a trend. This is a trend. These quarterbacks aren't getting developed. These organizations want these quarterbacks to be ready from day one. They're not. I don't care if you draft them number 1 or you draft them in the 5th round. 9 times out of 10, that QB is not going to be ready. He may do some things well. He may even have a Jayden Daniels run. But even when you've seen Jayden Daniels going to that second season, film out on him, now he has to learn how to counter what the defense is throwing at him. He don't look like season 1. He don't look like his rookie season. Oh, you like to run out the pocket? We gonna punish you. Now he got injuries, stuff like that. So now when he comes into season 3, he's gonna probably be thinking a little bit differently. It takes time for these quarterbacks to develop. We see Caleb Williams. They said he was the next Patrick Mahomes. It took a Ben Johnson to come in and start to restructure the way Caleb Williams play. You say the backyard plays for when you need them. Be that type of special when you need to. I need you to be a consistent quarterback. And if you go look at Caleb Williams' numbers, he's still learning how to be a quarterback. He isn't throwing in the high 60s, the mid 60s. I think he's like in the 50% completion rate. So he's learning how to be consistent as a quarterback to run the play sets that Ben Johnson wants to run. See how heavy they lean on that run game? Excuse me. See how they lean on that run game? They lean on that run game because they want to keep Caleb Williams safe. They don't want him making bonehead mistakes because guess what? When he was at USC, they give Caleb Williams the ball in the shotgun. They tell him just run around in the backfield and just throw it up and hope you make a play. Well, he can flick it 90 yards down the field. Does that matter when he throws it to the other team? No. So he had to development. And that's what these organizations got to get back to. This is not some old fast food microwave thing where you're going to draft this quarterback he's going to be the savior of your franchise as soon as you put him on the field. Maybe he will be your savior of your franchise, but you got to give him a chance to develop. I mean, if we look at that draft that Kenny Pickett and all them was in, what was that, 2022? It would look like Brock Purdy and Malik Willis need to be 1 and 2. But no one's seen that coming. By the way, what system is Brock Purdy in? Shanahan system. Malik Willis, left Tennessee, said he ain't have it. We gonna ship him off. Shipped him off to Green Bay. Got under Matt LaFleur, who's under what? The Sean McVay tree, showing him how to be a quarterback. And now he's going to get paid this offseason. To the point that they asked Matt LaFleur would they consider Malik Willis going, is he better than Jordan Love? Like somebody actually came on and said that. And of course, Matt LaFleur answered it the way he answered it. But that's called QB development. The next guy going to get that QB development is going to be Will Levis. Somebody's going to take a chance on him and bring him in the system, sit him down and say, this is what you do well, this is what you don't do well, and we're going to work on these things, and we're going to tailor a system to your needs, and we're going to work on them kinds of your games, and we're going to fix that too. He's going to be the next project. So, in a nutshell, Troy Aikman hit the nail on the head. People, stop looking for these quarterbacks. I don't care if it's Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, whoever it is. I did a video on all the quarterbacks that's on this page. You can go check it out. These quarterbacks in this draft that's coming up have talent, great talent. But don't let these people out here in the media tell you that these guys aren't worth nothing because they hyped them up and said, this is going to be the greatest quarterback class of all time. What's stopping him from not being the greatest quarterback class of all time? I don't care who you bring in, Garrett Nussmeier, any of those guys, they're going to still have to be developed. They're probably already going to be, if they're picking high, they're probably already going into bad organization. You telling me right now that Fernando Mendoza is going to go to the New York Jets and take a, 2-14 team, and he going to turn them into 7 wins by himself? I ain't even trying to hear that. Dante Moore will go to the Browns, possibly. And he's going to change what he's doing? He's going to change the Browns' fortunes? Or do they have to learn how to develop quarterbacks, stop looking for a savior, and develop the whole program in Cleveland? See what I'm saying? It can't be both. You cannot look for these guys because you draft them in the top 5 to be your savior. They can be a possible savior, but you got to develop them. So, enough of my tangent. I had to say what I had to say on that one. I just want you guys to understand. Just look at it for yourself. Don't even take my word for it. Look at it for yourself. Look at the NFL over the last, I'm just going to say the last 5 to 6 years in itself. Go look how quarterback play has went down. It's not what it was. Because they're creating these offenses to hide these quarterbacks' flaws versus really working towards making these quarterbacks better. Seeing the field, processing the field, being able to audible at the line and not look over to the sideline, all those things. All those things you saw the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Breeses, Ben Roethlisberger's, da-da-da-da-da, list go on. They only have a couple of those guys in the league right now. You say the Eagles? Yeah. I mean, you even look at that situation in Philadelphia. That's a good point, D. You look at that situation in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts is not a elite quarterback. Jalen Hurts he's an average quarterback that can be above average at times. At times. But he has so many pieces around him that it kind of covers up for what he does. I mean, he threw for 110 yards last Sunday. He was over there puffing his chest out. The week before, he was talking tough. Then he played the Bills. Super Bowl contending team. That's going to hone in on what you don't do well, and they're going to put you in situations to make you uncomfortable. He didn't turn over the ball, but he didn't do anything to put them in a situation where they was playing winning football. It's just what it is. He's not an elite guy. Now, listen, you're not going to get an elite guy for every team. You know, we ain't seen Super Bowl runs with guys who, I mean, did we see Kerry Collins? Did Kerry Collins get to a Super Bowl? I want to say he did. So, I mean, you're going to see guys like that pop into a Super Bowl. He is just Jalen Hurts is just a piece of the puzzle in Philadelphia. He definitely ain't the train conductor, though. That team in a whole, the way Howie Roseman put that